You're about to meet Dr. Claudia Nichterl. Few years ago, she joined one of my programs. At that time, she had written 25 books. She had a PhD in nutrition, but she was only paying herself a few €100 a month salary, working 80 hours a week, going through a divorce, having health challenges, and she realized that creating an online business was her only way out. Few years later, she was making €1,000,000. Here's her story. Claudia, what made you originally consider building an online business?
Well, there were two main reasons. I was completely exhausted after 15 years being a female entrepreneur with cooking studio and my nutrition consultancy and everything. So I was exhausted. And the second reason, I was also broke. I had no money. And after my personal catastrophe, I felt at that time, now I know it's good you survive a divorce. But after my divorce, for me, it was important to pay out my ex-husband because I didn't want to lose my apartment. And we had bought it together. And I realized I was working 80 hours for 15 years, but I had no money. And then I realized there's something wrong working so much and having no money. I need a better solution.
Yeah. And you were quite experienced in your topic. Can you share where you were at that point before you even considered online business?
Yes, I'm a nutritionist. I also have my PhD, and I have written 25 books at the time we met. But I didn't realize that this is value because I was still in the belief I have to work harder and harder and harder to get something. And I think the biggest thing was, and I also realized in my therapist work with my divorce, respect myself, or I didn't know how much my value is. And if I don't know my value, I cannot demand from other persons to know my value.
No.
Not from the customers and not from my ex-husband. Yes, because I didn't treat myself well. And I didn't value my knowledge and nothing. And so this was my biggest shift. When I realized it, I cried a lot of tears about this, having written 25 books, and my most expensive product at those times costed €420, and I worked 3 months for this. Yes, I thought that's normal. I thought that's normal that I work a lot, and for me it felt like a huge amount. €420 somebody pays for me, and I think every time when a customer bought something, I was surprised that I have a value. My value was so down, and for that I'm happy that I'm divorced and did all my inner work, and I met you. That was the most important thing, that I learned how to do a proper business and how to do my mind shift and everything. So.
But it takes a lot of courage to take this step into a new world and try out something new when you say you actually were broke, like you had to pay out your husband, you had a business. Well, you had actually decent revenue, but there was not much left for you. Why was that?
I had a cooking studio, and I was concentrated on my revenue, but I didn't manage very good, or the money also went out, because if you have a cooking studio, you have to pay rent, you have to pay heating, you buy products, you need employees because you cannot do everything by yourself. And I had 100K revenue and 95K expenses. And I left maybe from 800 a month or something. Yes.
Yeah.
I felt good because I had everything I needed. The car was running on the company, the mobile phone, my expenses for food, but I earned nothing. I was always saying to me, I'm so happy. I have my dream business. I do what I want. I'm my own boss. and I was trapped in this hamster wheel, being happy that I can do what I want, but doing too much, and as I said, not knowing my value, not getting back a fair income.
Yeah. But how can someone who is in the position where money is quite tight still take a big leap of faith? What made you actually go ahead and overcome your fear?
A part is maybe my education, my mindset that I have to go forward. Yes, there is no way back, and I love my life, and yes, you are down, you cry your tears, but then is the moment where you stand up and say, okay, take a deep breath. What is the next step? But I think the biggest thing was I didn't want to lose my apartment, because losing my love of my life, losing my health, I also had some health topics at that time. That was enough, and I thought, if I have if I lose my apartment, no, that's not the way I want to do it, and so I had to earn money to pay the monthly costs, and I'm very solution orientated. When there is a problem, I think, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And I still had a little trust in myself that I will find a solution.
Yeah.
And the universe, or however you call it, will send me a message. And then I got an email with the message. Yeah. And to be open for messages from the universe, or however you call it. It's a part of believing in yourself and continuing. There is no way back. You have to go on.
Yeah. Yeah. So you jumped over the fence, as we say, or into the pool, and decided to try out this thing called online business. How did that go?
I had this idea, but I didn't know how to start. And as I mentioned, there came an email, and it was on the right time, because I wanted to do online business, and I hired an agency a year before I met you. And this was completely disaster. They took my money, and we created an online course who nobody bought until today. So don't do this. So I had the impression online business does not work. Yes, it only costs money and it doesn't work. And I had no online business because I only spent money. And then I got this email for your online program for Kickstart. It costed money, but I had a credit card. And so I decided to invest. It's not buying something for credit. It was, I will invest. And I looked at your website, I looked at the testimonials, and I thought, this sounds good. And in comparison, what I have paid to the agency, this was a real good price and everything. I bought Kickstart, and now I have an online business.
Yes, you do. So the first step you took was to create a free course, and then you would upsell to another course. How did that first step go?
This was a great experience, and it helped so much for my self-esteem, because doing a free course gave me the possibility to get the feedback from my customers, and I was so eager to get this, yes, because they valued more what I do than myself. And so I did step by step. Your program has step by step, and you always say, trust the process. I trusted the process. And I had 1,200 signups for my free course. I already had a business. I was on the market offline for many years with my books. So I had email addresses. I invited the people to my free online course. And alone having 1,200 signups was for me, it was great. And the best thing was I was able to do the sign up things, the technical thing, because I always thought, technique, I can't do it, but I had no money to hire somebody. And so I did it myself. And yes, I said 1 hour, 2 hours, but when I did it and I saw the sign-ups come in, I felt great because I made it possible. And then I did this 4-week course for free, and it was lovely. It was really lovely to work with the people. I made mistakes. I streamed in the wrong groups, and if I look at this today, it's so funny. But as I didn't charge anything for this, I felt good. Okay, video is on the wrong channel, stop it, start again. 20 minutes later, and people were still waiting for me. And have these experiences that no matter what, just do it. And you learn on the way. That was a big gift for me. And then the upsell, I got money and I was able to invest again in my retreat in Iceland. And I still say this were one of the best days in my life.
Mm.
So
Well, that warms my heart, of course.
it was really because this was earned money from online business, and I saw it's possible. And at this time, I already had closed my kitchen studio, my cooking studio, and so I earned money, and I didn't have this high expenses. I think I had expenses like 7,500 a month with my cooking studio, and now I had revenue without expenses. I was working from my home office, and there it made click in the head. Oh, this could work, and
Yeah.
this is fun, and this gives me freedom, and I always wanted to have freedom.
What do you say to someone who is maybe an expert like you were? You were an expert coming from offline to online. And why would you offer a free online course and not charge right away?
I think the main thing is you lose the fear for making mistakes, because if you don't charge and you make mistake, who should complain? Yes, it doesn't cost anything. So it was lighter for me because I didn't feel like everything has to be perfect. It gave me the freedom. It's an experiment. Yes, we do it together and let's have fun. So it brought lightness to me. I still believe, and I think I had this before, if you give something, you get back. Maybe not this time, but in total you get it back. But the most important thing is you lose the fear of making mistakes.
And you did get it back. You had 80 signups for your paid program that you introduced after the free course. And then you had an online business, as you described yourself. But it didn't stop there. Tell us what happened next.
Yeah, the interesting thing was that it worked out fine, and I did the same. I did before offline, I did it online, but I realized I was grown out of this doing nutrition consultancies and everything. Like always, you make a step, but then you have again your borders, your comfort zone. I'm so happy that we still are together, because there was the moment where I hated you so much. And you told me you have to charge more. And as I said, my most expensive product was 420 euro for 3 months, and you said charge 3,000. And this was the moment where I thought, this is a crazy lady. I have to run away. First impression was, I have to run away. This is insane what she wants from me. I can never do this. But I was stuck in your mastermind group because I invested the revenue of the 80 places in Iceland and in the mastermind. Then I didn't want to say in front of the other businesswoman that I cannot do this. I had a big fear to charge a higher amount of money for myself. But to make the long story short, I stayed and I negotiated with myself, because the most important thing is to go into self-responsibility. The coach has a good meaning. You wanted it, a good thing for me.
Yeah.
When I'm not ready for it, I have to discuss with myself what's going on. And as a natural scientist, I negotiated good with me and said, it's an experiment again. I will do the work, and it's pure mathematics. And I had with myself the deal that I said, okay, I will offer it 50 times. And if I get 50 no's, then I go to my coach. I can say, I did the work. You said I offer it for 3K. I did it 50 times and nobody paid. With this exercise with myself, negotiated, I came back to Vienna, and then the magic happened as always. If you do good negotiations with yourself, I came home from the train and I checked my messages, and I got a message of a friend from school I haven't seen for 30 years. And he texted me, hey, Claudia, I've seen you work with nutrition. I'm overweight. Can you help me? And I stalked a little bit on Facebook. What is he doing? I had no contact for 30 years. Oh, he's a medical doctor. Oh, he has a good running practice. Let's have a call together. And yes, 24 hours later, I had a call with him. He said he wants to lose 10 kilos. I said, yes, we can do it. I need to work with you 3 months. It costs 3,000 euros. And he said, oh, Claudia, we were friends in school. Can you give me some discount? And I said, okay, 2,500. And 2 days later, I had the money on my bank account. And so I need not to ask for it 50 times. With the first person, I was ready. I negotiated with myself. I was ready. And then I earned more for the same. And I realized I need something new.
Yeah.
Because only to get good paid for the same thing doesn't fulfill my heart and my passion and everything. And this was the moment when we started discussing founding my academy and concentrate. And today I concentrate on health professionals. I teach them everything that they can include nutrition in their holistic work. And now I'm on the best place in world. That's mine. I get good money. I have great clients. I know what I do. I have your expertise on my side. So that's perfect now.
So instead of helping people individually, which you had been doing thousands of times before, and okay, charging more money, but then there was this like, this is it, you're still selling your time.
Yes, but in a group program. And
Yes. I mean, with a man that paid 2,500, you were still selling your time.
yes.
So there comes a point where you can't scale that up. Even if you're charging more per hour, there comes a point where, you know, there's only so much you can charge.
Yes, and it's also the impact. If I only work with one person, it doesn't have the same impact than if I work with a bigger group. Or in my case, if I teach multiplicators, what I know. I think with the online business also came the thinking of, well, for what I'm here on this world, what's my destiny, for what I'm here.
Yeah.
And I think one-on-one is too less.
You can only help so many people. And so there came a point where we said, this is not scalable. Even if you're charging more money, this is not scalable and you can't help so many people. So instead of helping people individually, you want to help those who help people individually. That's how you can really spread the message. But your academy, what did you start to charge there?
This was again a topic we discussed, and I tried out. To make it short, it's an 8 months program, 8 modules. And when I offered it, I thought I have to split it in 2 times 4 months, because then it's cheaper. But we realized if you look on the customer side, it's better to have the whole program, the 8 modules.
Yeah.
And I think the first price was 4,000 or 4,800. I don't remember. I think it was 4,800, and for the first with some discount or bonus or something. And so it was a little bit higher than the 3K, but it felt good. And also the magic happened. I had my first client in 24 hours. And I realized people were waiting for this.
Yeah, but it happened
They were
almost
thinking,
exactly the same as before. You came back from a retreat. Okay, now you're going to do an academy. And then you emailed your list.
procrastinated with having a throat issue and not doing the work. You said me, because it was again the fear to offer it for 4,800 and will somebody pay it? And I remember very good when you asked me what is the most worst thing, what can happen. And then I sent out the email. I had nothing. I had no landing page, no flyer. We had the strategy only to send out an email. There will be a program to learn from me. Who is interested? Answer with yes.
Yeah.
And 5 minutes later, I had the answer with yes. And then I made a Zoom call and had my first client for the academy without landing page, without everything. But then I created everything.
Yeah. Yeah, because the fear was there that you possibly create the wrong thing. So the first sales calls served as market research in a way to figure out what people actually wanted for you. And they would ask, I remember you shared this with me, they would ask, oh, I want to learn this and this and that. And you say, yeah, that's going to be in the program.
Yes, thanks for you remember this better than me, but for the first 9 clients, we got with this strategy that I said, I will do an education program. Are you interested? Hop on a call. And then I asked, why are you interested? What do you want to learn? And 10 minutes later, I said, I have these models and there is this in and this in. And I created the course month by month. Nothing was ready. We started on 1st of September and I only had 1 or 2 videos for the first weeks because everything was so quick, and I still did not really believe in it. But I had 27 clients for my first round, and it was my first 6-figure launch. And I felt like doing 100K with a launch without working 80 hours a whole year. It was fantastic, and it still is fantastic.
And it didn't stop there, you know. You have created multiple 6-figure business, you know, touch the million. How does that feel compared to when you look back at the time before you had an online business?
There were days, or there are days where I think, is this real? Yes. But I have grown a lot. So I think, although I was a female entrepreneur for 15 years, 17 years, I now really get a hint of what is being an entrepreneur. I learned so much in the last years, and I'm still learning. And it's a very good feeling because the impact is so huge. And 2.5 years ago, I realized my vision, that I say I want to make minimum 1 million people healthier, and that they have more joy and more easiness with eating and everything. And I have the strong feeling I have done more as they have, because I see the results every day. And that's more important than the money, because to realize that my work has impact, and the community that I created, all the friendships, all the support between men and women, that's beautiful. But as an entrepreneur, I'm learning every day, because it's a change from being a female entrepreneur with 70, 80,000 revenue or 100K, or running an online business, hitting the million. I have a team. That's a different responsibility. There are some days where I say, oh, Claudia, it's still like a game because I like it, but you have to make some rules for the game, because I'm working with a team, and the team needs some structure. And I'm grown up a lot in this process, and I'm still growing.
Yeah. But for those who don't know you, you also travel a lot. And there's this feeling of, if I think of freedom, I do think of you, seeing you
Yes.
travel everywhere and often alone. And then meeting people all over the world and having all these, what you call food discoveries,
Yes.
research, because you're a nutritionist. Uh, how is that different from your life from now?
Completely, because I think now I'm back to my Claudia I always was. I have lost my inner Claudia in too much work. Yes, the work I had with my cooking studio was too much. Also for my relationship. At the moment, I still have no relationship because I love my easiness, my freedom, and I'm still so happy discovering my own Claudia, who I am, yes. Because I was in a relationship since I was 15 years old. I had 3 longer relationships. And so this is the first time in my life that I really discover who I am. And I'm still discovering new sides in me. And that's still better alone. I have the feeling, I don't know when this changed. It's pure freedom, and freedom is one of my highest values. I love this, and also my lifestyle. I don't buy 10 new pairs of shoes every month, but I like to go to good restaurants. I like to sleep in 5-star hotels, and not every day. I also can sleep in a camper van. Yes, I have both, but I have the freedom to decide what I want now, and that's life for me with vitality, and I love it.
You have the choice, and that's so beautiful. And
Mm.
these were the perfect words to end our beautiful conversation. Thank you for sharing. I am sure you've inspired so many.
Hopefully, and it's worth to do it with the online business, and you are still the best to train this and to support and to guide how to do it.
Oh, thank you, Claudia. This was Dr. Claudia Nichterl. If you liked her story and want to hear similar stories, comment right below this video and I can interview more women like Claudia.